What is up, YouTube? Today we are back with the second part of my tier list video, going over the mid-tier and high mid-tier today, because I did separate the tiers a little bit more, because that was also something people talked about a lot, was my tiers are too big. How are 25 characters in top tier? How are 25 characters in mid-tier? So I did stratify the tier list just a little bit. Yes, I am still wearing the same shirt. Don't worry about it. And as always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it so you can join the ESAM. And don't forget to hit the notification bell and turn on notifications to all so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. If you missed the first part of my tier list video, don't forget to click the link up above in the corner. Again, I don't remember if the iPhone flips this, so just check it out so you can know where everything is leading up to, because it will spoil it right in like the video when I show like my full tier list so far. So please check it out. I would appreciate it. But anyway, let's get into the video. So starting off mid-tier, I'm gonna put a character that I feel like a lot of people wouldn't expect to be down here, because people love watching. Again, people's like opinions are so jaded because of Wi-Fi, which is crazy, but I think Villager kind of sucks. I think better version of Isabelle, sure, but I just feel like Villager, just the more I think about this character, the more I'm just like, huh, people just really let Villager get away with just pulling Lloyd Rocket in front of them and not hitting him for it all the time. Like, all the time. Villager does have a couple good things. He has decent out of shield options, as I mentioned with Villager, has decent zoning. You have Tree, which makes you respect stuff, and you get Axe as a kill move. You have Tree as a kill move. You have Up Smash, you have Up Tilt. This character does have, like, some good things, but he just gets outclassed, he gets edge-guarded. The problem is, he doesn't really have a way to protect himself off stage, because, yeah, you have Lloyd Rocket, and you have, like, Fair and stuff. But you can just wait, like, the majority of the time, as someone edge-guarding Villager, you can just wait, and then hit him. And like, you just over and over again. You just literally keep doing that. And like, it's so crazy, because you think like, oh, this character might have decent matchups with like Peach. I think does fairly well versus a couple other like decent characters. Like, I don't think does terrible versus Snake. I think does like okay versus maybe Fox. And you've had Kept do great. I think he did pretty good in the offline Japanese invitational thing that happened kind of recently. I might be completely wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he made it to the final bracket at the very least. It's just, that's just the way Ultimate is some characters have decent top tier matchups and are still bad. Like, that's just what happens, and it's crazy. But yeah, Villager's just like, I don't know, he's underwhelming, which is annoying, because like, he can, like, I feel like he has good stuff, but I feel like it's just underwhelming compared to the rest of the cast, because he's not fast enough, he doesn't have good enough juggling, he has good air mobility, or decent air mobility at the very least, but like, I don't know, I feel like you have to hard commit to get a lot of your stuff. As Villager, you have to like hard time stuff, and if people are good and kind of, you know, mix up your timings and stuff like that, it's going to be way harder too. So next up is going to be Piranha Plant, because Piranha Plant, while Piranha Plant is good, like, has amazing edge trapping, just again, as I mentioned in a couple of times, he just doesn't really have a coalescent kit. He doesn't have his Patooie is amazing, his side B is great, his edge trapping is fantastic, his up smash out of shield is pretty good, but I don't know, I feel something's missing with this character, because basically every single thing is just like, I don't know, it's off. Something about it's off. Like, things send slightly not correctly. He has slightly not good enough combos. Like, granted, if he had combos, he'd be a crazy character, but again, that's why he's down here, is because he doesn't, right? He has very much so one-hit neutral, two-hit neutral edge trap. But again, people are getting better at getting around his edge trapping, so if your best thing isn't happening as much anymore, like it's hard. Also, yeah, this character's hitboxes just, like, aren't great. I mean, you have things like Nair be okay, up air's kind of bad, forward air's okay at best. Like, he doesn't really have ground moves. I think his jab is pretty decent, but like, his down tilt is meh, his forward tilt is meh, his up tilt is a great anti-air, but that's about it. So, like, he's missing something. Like, he needs something, and I don't know what it is. Next up is Donkey Kong. Listen, Donkey Kong has the sauce. But while you have the sauce, you still need a substantial meal to go with it, otherwise the sauce is useless. And this character does not have any substance. He has good throw combos, sure. He has okay edge guarding, he has decent aerials, he has, you know, he's fast, he has a good dash attack. But at the same time, you hit him and he dies, because he has one of the worst disadvantage states in the entire game. He has one of the worst recoveries in the entire game, the easiest probably to spike recovery in the entire game. Like, yeah, does he have a better, like, theory distance? Sure. Than, like, a lot of the characters I put below this? Sure. But he gets spiked by, like, every character in the cast. Like, every character in the cast can just be like, and that's it. Like, I have been losing to Donkey Kong players playing whoever, and then I hit them above me, and I go, early aerial, landing aerial because you air dodge. Oh, you're not going to air dodge here. Hit them early. Oh, you're going to air dodge here. Wait, grab, up throw. And you can just keep DK above you. Or if you have a good spike, you just throw them off stage and guess right. And also the problem is DK can't get off ledge either, so if you're wrong in where you're going to get a spike, if you can get back on stage first, because typically you're going to do the early spikes, try to hit him, and then if he recovers later, you still get back on stage before him, then he can't get off stage. Like, he can't get on stage, he can't get down. He is the worst heavy at getting down, in my opinion, of all the heavies in the game. Like, yeah, sure, he has aerial down B, which is, like, pretty good. It's like a good move. But it's also slow, and if you're doing it high, if you're doing it low enough where you're going to get the second hit at whatever its safety is, I think it's like -7, -6 or something like that, then like you had plenty of time to get hit before that, because you do short hop. Oh, you didn't do an instant back air? Cool, aerial. And you're gonna hit the down B. Like, it's not good. It's not good enough. So it's hard. Like, I think he struggles to land more than like any character in the game. Even like Little Mac. I really don't understand why every single tier list I make, I do this, and I put Marth down here, and then people get mad at me for it. Even though other pros think Marth is bad. As I mentioned earlier, he is one of the, or it might be the first time this video, he's one of the least consistent characters in the entire game. Because while he does have the amazing things of if you land a forward smash at 40, they die, he has shield breaker, he has all these tipper aerials, then he doesn't hit them. And you're living until his up throw percent, which is 170. And in this game, where advantage states are so strong, kill potentials are so strong, kill confirms are everywhere, you're not going to get, like, you're going to die. Like, you're going to miss your kill and die, and then be at a disadvantage, try to fish for your kill, and then not get it and die. Like, yes, is his spacing amazing so he has decent matchups against people he needs to wall out? Like, again, as I mentioned with Day-to-Day and like stuff like Dr. Mario? Sure. But Marth can't kill consistently. His tipper is too small, he doesn't have enough setups into his tipper. He has really obscure setups into his tippers, yeah. When if you get hit by a landing downer, you're gonna get forward smashed, sure. But he's not there. He's just not consistent enough. He's not. Which sucks, because I think Marth is a cooler character than Lucina. I love rewarding people for spacing in a particular way, but the problem is, in a game where everyone is fast and people love doing run-up shield, like, you can't get tippers consistently, and he doesn't have good enough grab combos. Like, I thought maybe this character was going to be good when he got buffed, and then Leo played him for a while and then was like, Marth sucks. Like, Leo said Marth is worse than Byleth, and Byleth is not a fantastic character, so that means Marth sucks. Next up is going to be King K. Rool. Listen, I know his back throw buff was actually kind of insane. That back throw sends crazy angle, but he's just underwhelming. He doesn't have enough combos. He is very nickel and dimey. He's very much so, I hope you run into this projectile. He's very much, like, he can edge guard a couple characters with his run-off nair because it has armor, and he's better at landing because he has that armor compared to some of the other heavies at the very least. He's missing a combo. Literally, he's missing, like, an actual neutral tool. It isn't a mediocre projectile that does nothing. Like, people that are good don't get hit by blunderbuss. They don't get hit by crown. They just don't. And like, yeah, is the armor annoying now? But yes, but he throws crown and you shield it, and then you drop shield, dash, grab, wait. Okay, the crown's coming back, do a throw and you're invincible. Like, that's it, you're done. Like, that's the entire game plan. So now you don't have access to crown, you shouldn't be using blunderbuss. So he has to play neutral with his mediocre dash and weird moves in neutral. And like, yeah, does he have armor and that's annoying? Sure, but a lot of times it's just not going to make a difference. And like, can he cheese people with down smash? Sure. But also one of the biggest problems with K. Rool is he is incredibly edge guardable by the majority of the characters in this cast. Because you literally, as basically any like mid to small character, you just grab like if he's recovering farther out, you grab ledge, drop down, double jump, back air, grab ledge. Drop down, double jump, back air, grab ledge. Drop down, double jump, like consistently. And if he's going to recover close, then you hit him with a weak move that's below that and then try to get under him and fish for like an up air. Of course, you can also just hit him out of his up B if you realize where he's going to be angling his up B, like the propeller. But like, he gets edge guarded. He doesn't really have kill confirms. Or sorry, he doesn't really have combos. He has some kill confirms, and of course you have like down throw at high percent. You have 2 kill throws in terms of back throw and up throw. Like, his kill potential's good, but like, how are you hitting it? He takes 90% from combos because he's huge and doesn't have a fast option, and that has armor, even something like his nair. And then he takes 90 from going off stage. Like, it's so hard. Next up is going to be a recently buffed character, but a character I still feel like is just missing a little bit too much, and that's Bowser Jr. I do think the kill throw helps a lot. I think the kill throw helps a ton, because a lot of times, if you were getting scared by Bowser Jr. at the ledge, you would just shield. and you'd be fine. And that'd be, like, that's great. But now he has a kill throw, so you can't just shield at ledge, so it makes his ledge pressure way scarier. This character still has combos and damage output and 2 frames and juggling, and his up B being faster means that it's easier to connect side B, up B into swing, which is great. You have the ability to grab the ledge faster, so he's harder to edge guard. Still edge guardable, but harder to edge guard, which means he's going to be slightly more consistent. And again, his kill confirms being more consistent is going to be great. Like, you can even edge guard with the up B a little easier, which is awesome. I do think Cannonball is better than people give it credit for. I think Mecha Koopa kind of sucks. His down B kind of sucks. But like, I think, like, the thing is, I look at Bowser Jr. and I go, damn, that character has, like, a decent amount of stuff. He's pretty good. And then I think of every other character above him and I go, oh yeah, they have slightly more. Like, Bowser Jr. is one of those characters that is literally just, like, he's worse than other characters, but he's pretty good. Like, I think Bowser Jr. is the cutoff for, like, oh, this character, like, has stuff. Like, you know, realistically, I maybe could have put all these characters, like K. Rool and below, in low mid-tier. Which, like, maybe. But I think Bowser Jr. is kind of like a cutoff of, like, he has a lot of stuff. And it's not just matchup inexperience, and it's not just people not knowing how to deal with cart. Oh, they gotta remember he gets his cart back if he doesn't jump out of his cart, so just be careful. But, like, he gets outclassed is the thing. Like, he just is worse, which is crazy. So, yeah. Next up is going to be the character that chat has been talking about a lot, and that's Kirby. I think Kirby is better than people think that Kirby is. Kirby's crouch and down tilt and forward tilt are really good. I think the buffs for this character are incredible. I think Kirby's figuring out Dare Ride, wonderful. I mean, again, it's Wi-Fi, but JJJ Jaw, or whatever his name is, the Kirby player, is killing it. He's doing so well. Kirby has good landing aerials with Nair and back air. Of course, he has Rock as a shield break potential. You have amazing kill potential in back air and dash attack and all of his smash attacks. He has kill confirms with forward air down smash. And of course, Dare Ride, so you can get like the down air without the final hit into down smash, which is crazy. The reason that Kirby's not better is because you can run away from him as a lot of the cast. But the thing is, if Kirby hits you, which is possible because he still has decent ground speed, it's going to be a struggle. And if Kirby gets the lead, he can play passive very well. I think he has a barely losing matchup against Pikachu. I think he does fairly well versus Zero Suit and Palu. Like, probably not winning, but like annoying at the very least. He has great combos. He has good damage output. He has new combos on like he has landing up air combos on platforms, and he can just control the game a lot of the times. And, you know, of course, if he gets copy abilities in certain matchups, that's going to turn it on its head. If Kirby gets, I mean, again, I'm speaking in terms of Pikachu, right? But if Kirby gets the Pikachu, you know, if he gets T-Jolt, suddenly the matchup's even. It's hard to approach him. Kirby Snake is really good. Kirby Shulk is amazing. You know, there's a lot of good neutral Bs in this game, and suddenly if Kirby gets access to them, that's crazy. Of course, he has really good edge guarding. He has just solid options all around. The only problem with Kirby is that he's kind of slow. And that's it. But like, Kirby otherwise is pretty damn good. Next up is going to be one of Wi-Fi plagues, and that is going to be Zelda. This is Zelda. She's mid-tier. I think that, again, she got better in the buff, but then people kind of still figured out how to play against her. And again, is she an annoying zoner? Yeah. Is she sometimes cheese out kills? Yeah. But at the same time, you know she's gonna neutral B. I don't know how she gets off the ledge. I don't know how she lands. I don't know how she deals with pressure except hoping that they run into Nehru's love. And that's it. Like, she has a very obvious game plan, a very, very obvious game plan. And if you don't know how to deal with it, you're gonna get destroyed. You're gonna get bodied. I mean, again, I lost to Ven the only time I played him in Prime Saga 3-1, but I'm also way better at the Zelda matchup now. And this character just struggles to get anything started if you know what you're doing, if you know how to avoid Phantom, if you know how to just jump around stuff. And, like, that's it. Like, she has to space for her kicks, so they're not great out of shield options. She doesn't have great out of shield options in general if you can space around up B or just DI it at the beginning. I'm really sad that this character is down here. Not Samus, y'all are crazy. It's Ridley. I think Ridley's sick. I think Ridley's so cool. But again, similar to what I've said about a couple characters already, he just doesn't have a kit. It doesn't coalesce. His moves don't make sense with each other. He has forward air, which is good, and nair, which is good, and down tilt, which is good, and his up B can be hard to edge guard, and he has a command grab, and he has fireballs, and the ability to 2-frame with forward smash, but like, none of it makes sense.
Like, none of it coalesces into a kit. Again, he's going to be playing random neutral and advantage state. Now, while he's fast, he's a huge character that isn't super heavy, so he takes a ton of damage and can get ledge trapped. I think ledge trapping Ridley's very good if you just, again, back up and give him space for up air and side B, and I think he can't really land, so if he ledge jumps, which is the option that you do in those situations, he has to now land, which you then just cover his landings and hit him again, and rinse and repeat. Like, again, are his 2-frame options ridiculous with forward tilt and forward smash? Yeah, they're crazy. Does he have down B, which can maybe get some, like, a cheesy stock because, like, down B into down smash? Yeah. But, like, his down air is one of the worst in the game, if not the worst in the game. He has kill potential and add a shield options with nair, up smash. He has platform pressure with up tilt. He has kill confirms, but, like, none of it just like, his game plans are too segmented and none of them flow into each other, so it's so awkward to play as this character. And then, of course, sometimes he just gets edge guarded because, like, you have a counter, or just, haha, you were at an awkward angle, so you had to go up and then fall towards the ledge, and then you just get hit, so. Next up is going to be the second Mii. Where are they? Mii Gunner. I think Mii Gunner's pretty degenerate and has some good stuff, but I feel like, again, it's very much so, it's too one-trick. They have a great up smash out of shield, they have decent down smash, but I feel like if you get around the projectiles or can deal with the projectiles, you win. Like, you literally 100% win all the time. And that's annoying when, like playing one-trick characters just isn't super fun. They just need, like, a better out of shield option, basically. I think that would be great. I mean, again, up smash is pretty good, but it's frame, like, 8 or 9 and starts in front, so, like, if you're behind the character, they have no out of shield option. Are they Sans Undertale? Yes. But Sans Undertale is unfortunately not enough. They just don't do enough. Which is sad, because I think Mii Gunner's sick. But, like, if their grenade down B was better, that'd be great. If they, I don't know, like, had a rising arrow that they could use, like, sure. But, like, you have to basically rely on people running into the smoke neutral B, like the smoke bomb, which is really good. But that's it. That's literally it. Next up is Bayonetta. So listen, I might be wrong about this. Bale might be higher, and I 100% admit that to be true. But from what I can see currently, Bale still struggles to kill, which is one of her biggest problems. She has to land, at which time she has to get an edge guarder. Like, I think Bale is pretty good, and I think I maybe don't know the combos. I might not know the routes. I don't know how you cover SDI up. I don't know how you cover everything, because obviously the counterplay against Bale isn't, whatchamacallit, super fleshed out, because Bayo's combos aren't very fleshed out. Like, I think Bayo obviously does a ton of damage, great advantage state, pretty good edge guarding, decently hard to edge guard and ledge trap, because you have to respect ledge jump 80k, which is difficult. But I do think that this character is just missing a little bit of something. If they had a better kill confirm, if down tilt back air was a kill confirm, bam, like, instantly the character's high tier. Maybe if forward throw killed earlier, down throw killed earlier, but again, there are still a lot of times when you're playing against Bayo and you're going to live until 170, and, like, that happens. And yeah, does she hit you from 0 to 70 the first hit she gets for the most part? Yeah, but that's it. Sure, up tilt back is a kill confirm, but up tilt you have to be way closer and it's not safe, which is a problem. So, like, you really need to either get the very specific kill percents for things like up air back air, like something into up air back air to be a kill confirm. You need a witch time, or you need to hit back airs like that, and for the most part, you're just not going to as Bayo. And if you're playing against a matchup that you can't edgeguard super easily, then suddenly the characters are going to live forever. And that's, again, as I mentioned a couple times earlier, a problem when you have so many characters with great kill potential, great kill confirms. Next up is Mewtwo. I still don't understand the point of the buffs. Don't understand why this character is so good. Because, again, of all characters, Mewtwo is one of the characters that doesn't have a coalescent, like, his kit does not coalesce. He has an almost useless up tilt unless you're getting specifically the weak up tilt after a hit of nair into up smash. He has moves that are good, but they just don't make sense. His back air's really good off stage, his up air's really good, shadow ball's really good, he has kill throws at the ass. Side B has kill confirms and stuff, but, like, how do you play the game besides just, I'm gonna charge neutral B and hope people run into it, or just run behind it and stuff like that? And the problem is, that's not good enough in this game, because you have characters that have actual tools to keep people back that also have the charge neutral B, like Samus. You have characters that are much better at camping than Mewtwo, like Game & Watch and Snake and even Rob and Pac-Man, that have options to shield you while camping, but Mewtwo is just kind of just like, run, which, like, isn't great enough. Unfortunately, like, I think Mewtwo could be really cool. And then, of course, like, he's just inconsistent because lol tail hitbox. And again, does it happen super often? No, it really doesn't. But the times that, like, you have to be scared of it, there are a lot of situations that you have to be scared of getting hit in these random scenarios that no other character has to care about, given the skinniness and general size of your character. And that sucks. Like, I've hit Mewtwo in weird-ass situations because lol tail. And there's no way around it besides hope that the tail doesn't decide to extend randomly in, like, a random animation. Next up is going to be a character that I wish was better, and it's a character that I generally have overrated, in my opinion, in the past, and that is Banjo and Kazooie. Again, I think that Banjo has a lot of good stuff, don't get me wrong. The camping's really good, he has weird-ass confirms with the neutral B into things like side B and forward air and back air. He has the best two-framing in the entire game, yes, better than Palu's, the best two-framing in the entire game consistently, but he doesn't do enough damage. His grab doesn't do enough damage, he doesn't have long enough combos. Everything I feel like that he does is for like 20%, when characters in this game, even bad characters, are dishing out 30 to 50 to 60. He's fast, sure, but I feel like just, again, if his up air was better, that'd be great. If he, better than Wolf? Yeah, I mean, Wolf has to time a really difficult thing, whereas Banjo has a lingering down tilt that sends you at, like, angle. And then he has side B, and then he has forward smash, and then he has down smash. Like, Banjo does have pretty decent matchups, and again, if you're not patient against this character and you don't know how to catch items very well, Grenade will be very difficult for you to deal with. Of course, if you run out, like, if you're a character that can send Banjo off stage and can threaten edge guards, he has to burn his Wonder Wings very early, or keep them for recovery, which means you're not going to be as scared of them for offense. And Wonder Wing is what makes this character pretty good, and if you don't have access to it, suddenly the character is mediocre at best, so. And we're apparently on the DLC train right now, because the next up is going to be Byleth. Byleth is better than I thought they were, originally, I'm gonna be honest. But again, Byleth is just one of those characters that just gets outclassed. They're a little too slow. They have, like, 3 unusable moves, basically, because I think that neutral B is awful. I think, sorry, just neutral B and down B. Those moves are bad. Like, if you're getting hit by those moves, like, you're bad. Like, they're so easy to just, you can either air dodge it or avoid arrow, and like, oh, it's for mix-ups, you can just not shoot arrow and just move. Their kill potential is crazy. They break shields, oh my god, like no one's business. They're great in doubles, and they can kill you dummy early with down smash, forward smash, back air, down air, consistently, like very consistently. But they're a little too slow, and their neutral isn't quite good enough. Granted, if people start doing those IDJ combos, where I think it's like down tilt into IDJ nair, and you get like 60% off of it, then sure, maybe people will get better. But I haven't really seen that happen yet, and again, having 2 unusable moves in a kit sucks. Like, not even like niche moves, but just like down B is literally unusable unless you get a shield break, which you don't really need because forward smash is strong enough anyway. And arrow's bad. Like, arrow is one of the worst projectiles in the entire game, if not the worst projectile in the entire game. And I hit it all the time when I play Byleth, and I just get confused. Like, I think that short hop nair is great. I think dash attack is a great move. If they would like had slightly better frame data, they'd be amazing. Like, if their back air was a little faster, if their nair was slightly better of an added shield option, like, little tiny things can make this character significantly better, because this character still right now crumbles under common shield pressure. Moves that are -4, -6, -7, like, you can't punish, which sucks. So, yeah. But, like, they're scary, for sure. Like, again, this is the top of mid-tier. This is the last character in mid-tier. Sorry, in this category of mid-tier. So I think they're very good. But they just get outclassed by other characters. They're good, but they're not great. Leo playing the character is a work of art, though. Love watching him. Woo, we're done with mid-tier. What do y'all think right now? The first character I want to talk about in high mid-tier is a character that I have religiously underrated. And that is going to be Luigi. While this character is inconsistent, the Luigis are getting better at comboing random things into death. Or really good positions. The edge guarding is getting better, the offense is getting so much better, and the the neutral of Luigi players is getting a lot better. They're getting way harder to hit. So while Luigi does lose to most zoners in this game, like even bad zoners like the Belmonts, and even Mii Sword Fighter and Isabelle, like maybe loses to those characters, Luigi The threat of this character, the mental damage this character does when you pick him on the character select screen, it's insurmountable. It's almost one of the hardest characters to play calm versus, because you know at any moment you could lose. And while that is true for the opposite side, because Luigi's recovery kind of sucks, although people are, including myself, aren't great at edgeguarding him, he still is edgeguardable. I'm not even talking about elegant, I'm talking about people like Kiryosh. I've seen a lot of Wi-Fi Luigis get good at hitting random confirms that I feel like are very hard to react to and people don't care. His recovery, at least at the current moment, isn't being exploited as hard as it should be. So he's this he's this on-stage threat that has crazy damage, and even if you SDI combos, you still take 60. So, like, I think Luigi's actually pretty good. Plus, again, he has kill confirms out the actual ass, because you have things like landing nair into up or back air, you have nair into down B, you have grab into everything. Do I think this character can still struggle with anyone that has a projectile? Yeah, 100%. Like, can people just run away from him the whole set? Yeah. But it's really hard to do that for a whole set consistently, especially given the fact that he is one of the only characters, in fact, one of the three characters that has a frame 1 escape option, being Bayonetta with Bats Within, Snake with Grenade, and Luigi's down B, and that's it. His down tilt is incredible. He has a lot of good options, but he still just loses to projectiles. And so that's going to be his flaw, obviously. Like, people really need to just keep him in disadvantage and just keep him above you, and that's it. And it's hard to do so. Oh yeah, and Yoshi double jump armor, I forgot. And PT, I forgot. So there's 5. My bad. Is Duck Hunt Can frame 1? Whoops, 6. And Focus 7. Next up are going to be the pits. I'm not going to separate them for this video, because they're good in different matchups. Pit has good neutral, kill confirms. Pit has edge guarding. Pit has a lot that are pretty good things. But again, as is the case with Pit and has been the case with Pit, he doesn't have anything incredible. He doesn't have something that pushes him over the edge, because his only really good combo is like frame perfect and very difficult and probably SDIable in terms of the up tilt and air loops. He, I feel like, has to outplay someone in a situation where they are better than him for most matchups in the game. If you have really solid fundamentals, of course you can do really well with this character, because if you have, like, I feel like Pit doesn't have a matchup worse than 4-6, right? But at the same time, he doesn't have a matchup probably better than 6-4. Like, if his airspeed was a little better, it would be incredible. I love what arrows can do. I love the arrows of Dark Pit as well for getting better combos. Like, but there's something missing with this character that just feels, it's not incomplete, but it's just, again, you have to, like, there are so many characters that have incredible things about them, or like win conditions, I'm gonna use that term because I don't like the term cheese, but they have win conditions, right? Like, you have Sonic timing people out, you have buffs with Hero, you have Wii Fit Trainer's damage and ledge camping, you have Steve doing Steve things, you have the top tiers, of course, everyone knows the top tiers have really good win conditions, and Pit doesn't. Pit's win condition is play better than your opponent. And that can be difficult when you get to top level, because you have to be outplaying people that are on the PGR, people that are borderline PGR, regional threats, hidden bosses, and that's really difficult to do any type of consistently. Although he's a consistent character, the burst craziness of so many other characters makes him less consistent or less swingy in a good way, which means he's going to be down here. Anyway, next up, Puff. I think Puff is good in this game, and I don't care what people say about that. Puff is a good character. Puff has one of the best edgeguards in the entire game, one of, actually, surprisingly, the hardest characters to edgeguard in the entire game, has crazy combos with things like forward air, nair. Of course, he has broken dair loops, which confirm into a bunch of stuff, like down air into down air into down air, into instant double jump down air landing up air rest. He, like, instant double jump IDJs for Puff make this character so much better, because I was literally, when I was making this tier list, gonna put this character around where I put Mewtwo or Bayo, or maybe like Mii Gunner or something like that, and then I was like, you know, IDJ is really stupid with this character, because you can't SDI these combos, or you can try, but the Puff can follow it. Just, Puff has a lot of good tools in this game, and of course, has great if not the best, jab lock kill confirm in the game in terms of jab sing rests or jab sing up air rest. You have great two-framing with pound, which is something that I feel like a lot of puffs just don't do, and if it's a lingering pound, you can combo it off stage into a weak forward air, into a fast fall weak forward air, into a double jump nair, because a hard mace mage is starting to do things that put like weak forward airs, which don't put you into tumble, which can combo you off the stage and kill you like Pikachu can, which is cool, because Pikachu's busted, which means Puff is busted, but not as busted, because this character still does get walled out by a lot of characters. If you are a character that has spammable moves, like a sword, this character's gonna struggle. If you have really good projectiles, this character might struggle. But when Puff gets the hit, this character goes off, like absolutely off. And it's crazy. Forward throw sends you at such a good angle. Down smash sends you at such a, like, it's so strong. Forward smash is so strong. There's so much good about this character, and it does make up for the fact that Jiggs gets walled out. Granted, they're not a high tier character, and I don't even think they're in the upper half of the cast, because there's just a lot of good characters in this game. But Puff is a threat. Puff is a threat. If Puff had a kill throw, she'd be broken. If Puff had a kill throw, she'd be absolutely broken. She would easily be like borderline top tier, in my opinion, like that quick. Next up is going to be the first of the trio of Zelda. You have Toon Link, that I used to think was a lot better, like a lot better. But for the Links, his game plan just doesn't make sense. Is he consistent? Yes, because he has, you know, bomb into fair, boomerang into fair. He has great normals with F tilt and up B and back air and up air and forward air, and I think his nair's pretty good. He has really great specials. His arrows are kind of mediocre. He has okay edge guarding. He has pretty good ledge trapping. He's very flowcharty, right? And he has good out of shield options because of up B, which can kill, by the way. And of course, he has Z-drop bomb out of shield, which is again a frame 4 option, like all the characters that have Z-drop aerial or Z-drop items do, right? He doesn't have good enough combos. He has like rinse and repeat, like this is your game plan, this is your setup of bomb fair, boomerang fair, play neutral again. But the thing is, his neutral isn't good enough compared to a lot of top tiers and even high tiers that this is a viable strategy, because he will lose neutral more often than not, and they probably have a better punish game than him. This character was much better in Smash 4 because Rage was such a big deal in that game, but in this game, I think he's just lacking, unfortunately. Plus he's floaty, which makes him really easy to juggle. Like, I think this is actually the easiest Link to juggle, because the other characters have fast fall air dodge, like Young Link and Big Link have fast fall air dodge, and Toon Link doesn't have that option because he's a slow faller. Like, he's a floaty, so. Next up is going to be probably one that people will be surprised about, because people for some reason think this character is like pretty good. Cloud. I think Cloud is okay. He doesn't have combos. Like, he has like very low percent combos. He plays neutral, and plays neutral, and plays neutral, and then maybe gets limit, and then shoots Blade Beam because no one else uses any other limit move. He has up B out of shield, which is pretty good that you can SDI out of the final hit. Everything he does, except for like his arrow, like side B is incredibly punishable on shield, both normal and limit. He has to guess right so many times in neutral to win a stock, and a lot of times characters don't need to guess that many times because his edge guarding is, or his off stage is terrible. He's one of the characters that gets edge guarded the hardest. He's probably top 10 easiest to edge guard characters. I used to think this character was better. I mean, of course, he has great kill potential with things like up smash and back air, so he can cover things like fast fall air dodge really well. If you just kind of stay outside of Cloud's zone, what does he do? Like, he's not going to be able to charge limit super easily, because then people, like, if he dashes back and charges limit, people can aggress onto him, guess right once with either grab or an aerial, and then hit him off stage and potentially kill him. Just is one of those inconsistent characters, which sucks, right? But he has a good enough projectile. Limit Blade Beam's really good, but like normal Blade Beam's not great. The fact that you can camp out limit sucks for him. I mean, good, because limit was one of the most broken things in Smash 4. But I think this character is just slightly just not there. But if Cloud just had, like, honestly better juggling, which is weird to say because his up air is still really good, but like better juggling, better rising aerials, he'd be great. But I think Cloud is just overall overrated, and like, not bad. Again, Cloud's good. Like, I think, like, I look at the characters that I have in this tier, and I think they are very good characters. I think Luigi's top 4 majors, top 6 majors, top 8 majors, right? Pit, I think, is very strong. I think Puff, my opinion of Puff is really high. I think all these characters are good and have had good representation. So, like, these are very good characters. They're just not as good and as consistent as the rest of the characters, or don't have enough, you know, bullshit, for lack of a better term. And I want to make a quick note while I'm here, because this is probably people being like, oh my god, he's high tier. My tiers are smaller in this game, or in this tier list, because a lot of people continue to get mad at me being like, your top tier is 21 characters, your high tier is 25 characters. So my tiers are smaller. So characters that a lot of people, or even in my previous tier lists, would be the very top of mid tier / high tier, are now going to be in this tier. And my high tier is smaller, and my top tier is generally smaller as well. Oh my god, I forgot Robin. I literally forgot Robin. I think Robin's like pretty decent. I think that people are getting better with this character at like longer combos. Again, obviously it's Wi-Fi, but you see Angel do really well and, you know, have good combos. I think the neutral of this character, maybe I underrated slightly before. He still is exploitable, don't get me wrong. I think this character, like, probably actually going to be more so like here. So like low mid tier, or high mid tier actually, not in the high mid tier, whatever. But I think Robin just has some good stuff. Again, great kill confirms, pretty good edge trapping because arc fire down smash is broken. Of course, you have the 11 aerials. You have strong neutral because you have to like, but if like strong neutral against most characters because they can't crouch under it. But I think Robin loses a lot of matchups because edge guarding and just being patient. You know that if they want to shoot arc fire, you can jump over it and punish. You know that if they thunder and you're a short character, you can crouch under it and then dash and hit them, or at least create pressure. I think this character actually does struggle to get off the ledge, which I know is crazy because people are like, oh my god, but what about ledge hop forward air? But I don't think a good rising aerial off of ledge means that you're good at getting off the ledge, because shield still beats like every option, so you can just kind of react to that and then punish it. And then if they ledge jump, so what? It's Robin in the air. How are they going to land? Robin landing sucks. Like, Robin can't really land unless you're going to B reverse and be fancy, but if you're going to B reverse and be fancy, then you have to use your double jump, which means now you don't have a double jump in the air, which means you are going to B reverse again, and then what, like directional air dodge the opposite direction, hope to land on the PS2 platform? Like, what? Like, I think Robin's cool, but I think Robin is definitely just like slightly So yeah, I forgot about Robin. Thanks for that, chat. Next up is going to be, as I mentioned, Lucas. Now listen, this is going to be like why I kind of mentioned like, hey, my tier lists are, or like my tier positions are different, because Lucas is to me a very, very, very borderline high tier last tier list, and now he's here because I do think that Lucas, I mean, he's probably down a couple spots maybe, but I think Lucas is an incredible character. I think he has really, really good, whatchamacallit, out of shield like not out of shield options. He has great shield pressure. He has some of the safest aerials in the entire game. He has double jump Zair combos. He has just crazy two framing. He has edge guarding. He has probably the best F tilt in the entire game. He has just crazy stuff. But the problem is, if you can juggle this character, suddenly it's a lot harder for him to play the game. You know, Lucas is one of those characters that, even though he has a good air dodge, right? Like, you just kind of hit him above you. Like, the game plan isn't to hit him off stage, or it isn't just to do your optimal combo. It's to do whatever you can do and then hit up. Hit Lucas up, because Lucas struggles to land. Because if you're below Lucas, they have to either nair or downer to hit you, and those aren't really good options for landing. And then you can punish him, hit him up. Do it again. Do it again. And while it is hard to get that first hit on him because Lucas's neutral is pretty strong, he has great air mobility, again, great aerials for landing, PK fire, Zair, things like that, double jump Zair. Like, I think he's great. I think he's a really, really good character. Like, I think Lucas is definitely crazy. Like, Lucas is one of those characters to me that I'm just like, damn, this character is wild. And then, like, I just look at the characters above them and I'm like, oh, yeah, true. Next up is going to be Falco. I think Falco has a lot of good stuff. I don't think he's high tier, which a lot of people do. But I think Falco is a good character. Again, these are characters that are good characters. I think Cloud even is a good character. Toon Link, Puff, Pit, Luigi. I think these are good characters. Don't get me wrong. But I do think that Falco is, again, a little bit too linear. Does he have more combo options now because he has the fair drag down stuff? Yeah. Does he have down tilt as a kill option? Yeah. Does up air back air crazy? Yeah. Does he have all the thing like down air into up? Yeah. But I do think for some reason this character can still struggle to kill if you are completely just committed to not getting hit at 85% by a down air or an up air, or an up tilt rather. You can just avoid those moves, and then suddenly he's going to have to be killing you with random forward airs and nairs and hope that he gets a short hop forward air in neutral type of thing to like get his kill confirms, because like otherwise he's going to be fishing for things like side B and stuff like that, and his kill throws don't work. If they literally fixed his throws so that you could not DI before the laser, suddenly literally Falco is a top 25 character. Literally, in my opinion, that simple, because you would have a kill throw at 130 at the ledge and a universal up throw kill throw at like Pikachu's up throw percents, maybe slightly later than that. I think that would be really, really good. But right now, I do think that he's just, something's missing. Because what he has is amazing. His combos, his advantage state, all that type of stuff is absolutely incredible. But he doesn't have a great disadvantage. He has an exploitable recovery. What are you gonna do? Like, I don't know how you play this character in neutral besides just like hoping your opponent runs into you. Because like Falco is a character that really struggles with like dash backwards, and that's hard for him to deal with. Because like, what are you gonna do? Shoot a laser? Oh, it's 3%. It doesn't matter, right? Like those things don't matter. So then, like, he has to play this constant weird back and forth of trying to take space, but also not being too overcommittal, because if he runs up and up tilts and he whiffs, then you get punished, and then you get put in disadvantage, and it's hard. Next up is going to be Duck Hunt. I think Duck Hunt's pressure is amazing. You have, obviously, one of the best players in the world in Raito playing this character, and it's a pleasure to watch. I love watching Raito. I love playing against Duck Hunt players. I think Duck Hunt players are overall very clever, a lot of good frame traps, a lot of good setups. I think this character is just honestly missing a good out of shield option, and that's literally it. Because I think that while Duck Hunt, like, there are so many characters in this game that are like, I'm a zoner, but I have good boxing options. And Duck Hunt goes, I'm a good zoner. Like, he doesn't have great out of shield options. He has arguably better zoning than even some of the best zoners in this game. But, like, I think Duck Hunt's a good character. This is, like, good, right? I think you can cover your recovery sometimes with Can. I think side B is incredible. I think, dude, his side B is so good. He's oftentimes down to trade, but the thing is, if you don't get those early kill confirms, like at like 80%, where you're gonna get like side B into back air, suddenly now again, this character doesn't have a kill throw, doesn't have great kill options, so he's going to be hoping that you miss DI a can at 140 and dying. I think it's so hard for this character to kill, and again, in a game with characters that kill, like Joker and Zero Suit and Wario and Roy and Rob and Pac-Man, and you get the point, it's really hard to just be like, no, it's okay, I'll get the kill later, when you're a character that doesn't have the tools like the other top tiers do to make sure you will actually get that kill safely. Like, he doesn't. Like, I think Duck Hunt's crazy, but again, with good pressure and then baiting potentially can that's going to come out, like, you just wait, and then now it's behind you because you're going to hit them away from the can, like, they struggle now. So, I don't know. Like, again, good character. These are very good characters to me. Like, I think, you know, the upper 2/3 of the cast are very good characters. Next up is going to be Rosalina Luma. I know if this was the buzz, he'd put Olimar here, but I think Rosalina's down here. Losing Luma sucks, and there are a lot of characters that are really good at killing Luma. Do the shield buffs help in terms of making sure Luma is safer more often? Yes. But I do think that Rosalina just is missing a little bit. She has this thing that is really good for her that she loses, and now she's a floaty character with a bad disadvantage that has to land. Like, people really just aren't good enough at juggling this character, nor are they good enough at edgeguarding this character, because this character is very exploitable both in the air and off stage. What are you going to do? An early air dodge is a really floaty character, which means you're going to get punished literally right afterwards. She doesn't have access to fast fall air dodge, which is really important at top level. Has to, even with Luma, I don't think she has a good landing option. Like, I think Rosalina just struggles a lot, and there are certain matchups where Luma just dies all the time, like Sonic. Do you know that if you short hop forward air into Rosalina, even, I'm pretty sure when they're shielding, you will hit Luma, land behind them safely, and then continue to be able to kill Luma? That sucks. Like, I think not having a hitbox on her recovery hurts a lot. Like, a lot. Yeah, I think her disadvantage and her edge guarding, or like her offstage, are like too exploitable. Otherwise, she's a fantastic character. She has great neutral, she's strong, she has good kill confirms, she has stuff that's annoying to deal with. But also, again, people don't really know this matchup yet because people went, oh, this character doesn't matter because they're not Smash 4, and now they're a pretty decent character. Again, maybe are they slightly better than this? Are they the bottom of high tier? Sure, fine. But I don't think they're good enough to get over that, really. Next up is going to be another character people think are really good, and I disagree. And that is going to be Sonic. This is probably my ESAM opinion. I think Sonic's okay. I think literally Sonic is super overrated and people don't understand how to play against this character. I think that if you are a slow character, you get bodied by this character, 100%. But basically every high tier character has a way to deal with spin dash and spin charge. And every single character in this game can punish homing attack out of shield. You just have to know that the way Sonic is spinning when he's doing homing attack determines how you punish it, whether he's going to go in front of you or behind you. If you learn what you do, what moves you have that can beat spin dash, or even just pivot grab it, because every character can pivot grab it, you can honestly just play against this character very well. If he gets the lead, is he super obnoxious to deal with? Yes. But I think people let this character get the lead too easily. SDI down and away, so he can't do spin charge into forward air, so he's not going to get those early kills. His 2-framing with forward smash is incredible, and if he got it, he got it, right? I think Sonic has decent matchups with some of the top tiers, but also atrocious matchups with some of the other ones. I think Sonic overall is just a very overrated character that people fall into the hype and the hate of this character, which allows him to get better, because you know that any single time a good player gets hit by Sonic and is down 40%, they go, okay, I'm now trying to chase a Sonic. Let's figure this out. But I do think Sonic is overall overrated. Again, online, busted. Maybe the best character in the game. But this is not for online, this is offline. Like, I think his advantage is overrated because, like, sure, he has dash attack and stuff like that, and up air, and his up air did get better, and he got buffed, but, I mean, I don't think the buffs really matter that much. I haven't really seen... Suddenly, up smash is killing really early because it's still going to whiff a lot of the times. Like, it's still not useful to use. It's not like a good move to use in a lot of situations. But I think that, like, Sonic, his matchups are overrated. You can outcamp Sonic just as hard as Sonic outcamps you. And that's a lot of what his flaw is Sonic may be really good with a lead, but Sonic trying to catch up to people with a lead is equally as difficult. Maybe not equally as difficult, but very difficult. It's really hard for Sonic to aggress onto someone because he has to be whiff punishing people, and he can't whiff punish you if you're not throwing out moves. Like, that's a big deal, is if you have a lead versus Sonic, you're chilling. Like, he can't suddenly have all these crazy neutral options because his best neutral option is side B and his spins, right? But then, like, you just shield those. So he has to run up to you and try to grab you, but then you're not, like, you can just kind of throw out a move, like, right there. And if he goes run up to you, then side B, and he somehow catches your rising aerial, then, like, he got it. You know? Like, I feel like people really, like, Sonic players are just so much better than other people at camping. Like, so much better. That they get away with it. Next up is going to be Hero. Again, I think Hero's really good. I think Hero's one of the best anti-zoners in the game. That's also a zoner. I think Hero does a lot that's really good. Of course, he has crits, and he has great spells, he has buffs, he has a good recovery, stuff like that. His Fireball is great, his Side B is great. I mean, probably the biggest flaw of this character is he doesn't have great out-of-shield options, because really, the only out-of-shield option you're going to have is, like, out-of-shield up B, which doesn't really confirm it to anything, it does, like, 6%, so it doesn't really matter. I do think Hero's overall underrated. I think people just don't want to play this character, and of course he is slightly inconsistent because if you don't get zooms when you need them, if you don't get buffs when you need them, then it's going to be hard, but also he's still a pretty decent sword character with an invincible forward air, or it's not forward air, sorry, an invincible forward tilt, and you can't really camp against him because then he can farm spells, so you have to aggress onto him, even more so than you do against Sonic, because, like, Sonic doesn't have projectiles, right? Like, you don't want Hero to be able to just farm his spells, so you have to approach him kind of like what I talk about with Steve, and then he whiff punishes you, or he gets around you, or he uses a spell because he's catching your dash with Kaboom and stuff like that. And that happens a lot. Like, it happens a lot. Is his bear too slow? Yeah. Does he not have really a good up air? Sure. But at the same time, sometimes he's the best character in the game, right? When he gets, like, all his buffs and he, like, oomph, psych up, he's gonna break your shield. Like, it just breaks your shield consistently, and then he gets crit, because of course he's gonna get crit there. But I feel like it's just really difficult to really deal with Hero because it's constantly changing, and again, he is more likely to get good spells than miss his spell. And next up is going to be, again, a character I think is very good. This is very ominous music for a very kind of funny character, Wii Fit Trainer. I think Wii Fit Trainer is pretty good. Again, I have nothing bad to say about this character, besides sometimes they can't deal with short and their hitboxes are way too specific. But after the buffs, this character dumps out damage, dumps out kills, can edgeguard, can do basically everything. Again, Wii Fit's also one of those characters. I mean, even all these characters, basically, they have their strengths, they have their crazy strengths. You have literally better limit with Wii Fit Trainer, right? Like, deep breathing is literally just better than limit. 100%. She has crazy back air, she has just kill moves, so, like, her kill moves are crazy. Crazy! Out of shield back air, if you're like a mid-height character, you die at like 75 at the ledge. It's crazy. Of course, she heals. You know, maybe the only big flaw of this character is their throw combos are kind of fake outside of like 0%. Like, if they had a better throw, like, I think Wii Fit is super underrated. Granted, I'm putting them lower than my last tier list, probably. I don't remember the numbers because my tier list is, again, stratified differently. But I think Wii Fit's a crazy good character, and I'm really excited for Varun to, like, do better. But, like, I wish that, like, I mean, I don't really want a better kill throw or throw combo option because then, like, down throw back air lull, something like that will happen, and I don't want that. But I think Wii Fit's really, really good. Like, I mean, if you put Wii Fit 5-7 characters higher than this, I won't disagree, you know? Like, I think Wii Fit's an incredible character. It's just, again, slightly worse and slightly less consistent for me than a lot of other characters. Also because Wii Fit Trainers, maybe it's just the people, but they do like really bad side Bs off stage and people just let them get away with it and like get hit by them. So I think that like just if you know how to deal with the ledge planking, suddenly that's way weaker, and that's one of the things that people dislike about this character the most. So yeah. And then the last character in this tier is going to be Diddy Kong. Diddy got higher on this tier list. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not realize how important the buffs were for Diddy when they came out in 8.0, 7.0, whenever Diddy got buffed. I think 8.0. I think I underrated Diddy, and I apologize. Again, is he as good as people say he is? Probably. Like, they're like, he's borderline top tier. I'm like, no, he's not. Because people are still basing this off of Wi-Fi, and Diddy Kong is, in my opinion, better on Wi-Fi than offline because his whiff punishes and his combos are easier because they're like really long range. But I think Diddy Kong has a lot of good stuff. I mean, I watched Poppet's video on him analyzing Tweak. I think this character does have actually better combos than people give, or I gave him credit for. His 3-frame out of shield banana is really good because you can get that into forward smash. In terms of the Z drop, of course, if they're farther away from you, it's like a frame 8 item throw or something like that, frame 7, which is really good in my opinion. I think that Diddy just does well in because he has such a strong neutral option in terms of I have banana. Like, suddenly he's rivaling top tiers with his neutral. He has pretty decent matchups with the top tier because he does pretty well versus, I think, Peach and Zero Suit and Palu at the very least. But yeah, I think Diddy Kong, I mean, he's still kind of exploitable off stage. I think that is definitely a thing, right? Like, I think that definitely he could have a better, or like, people can edge guard him better. People can kind of deal with banana a little bit better. But at the same time, this character just initiates onto you with a very safe item, and then if you're wrong, you can get killed. You know, I don't really know if people are really doing the most they can against things like down tilt with SDI and stuff like that, so you don't get down tilt up smashed or down tilt back aired. I'm not sure. I don't 100% know because I'm not someone that has labbed it yet, because I'm not going to SDI that shit on Wi-Fi anyway. But I think Diddy is pretty strong. I think Diddy's pretty good, and I did not realize how much his buffs helped him. Like, again, Diddy is the highest high mid tier, so if you want to put him in high tier, I get that. But this is actually going to be the end of my high mid tier, so yeah.
And that is going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. This was probably where my spicy takes started to kind of happen, where I know people are definitely going to disagree with several of the characters that I put here, and let me know which ones you agreed or disagreed with down in the comments below. I would appreciate it. As always, social media, Panda, and partner stuff is down below. The next video will be out tomorrow where I go over high tiers and borderline top tiers, which that is going to be an interesting video, and I will see you all next time.